All right, today we're talking with Heidi Kuhl, who's an internet strategist, and you visit her at HeidiKuhl.com. How you doing, Heidi?
Pretty good.
All right, I think there's three. You're also a WordPress expert, and I think there's three kinds of people out there in regards to WordPress. People have no idea what it is. People who consider it to be a blogging tool, and then there's developers who use it for more. For those people who have no idea what WordPress is, how would you describe it?
Basically, WordPress is a content management system that helps you organize both websites in terms of pages and posts. It was designed originally for blogging, so people think of it as a blogging platform. And a lot of people still think of blogging as online diaries. But now, it really creates a framework for users to manage their sites and maintain them themselves. So if someone builds a site for you in WordPress, you don't need to know HTML and PHP and CSS to keep updating it.
So if you're a person who's been putting their foot in the water for blogging and maybe used Blogger.com from Google and some other sites, and you want a little more functionality, would WordPress, is it something you have to be a developer for, or are there tools for just that average person to post a blog on WordPress?
Now, if you're already comfortable with something like Blogger and you're familiar with that interface, a self-hosted WordPress.org blog is just taking you a step up. So it's sort of taking the training wheels off the bicycle. Installation's very easy. Most of the better web hosting providers have easy ways of doing that. You don't need to know a lot of technology. Once you install it on your hosting provider, most of them come with a variety of themes and templates that are already there for you. So you can pick out a theme. You like the one with the purple ducklings, or one that's very punk looking, whatever the theme is that suits you design-wise, but also in terms of how the pages are laid out and organized. Pick that, start posting your content, and you're up and running, and it will be very familiar. You'll have more options than you did with Blogger, but it will still be a familiar interface.
And I think one of the reasons you have the more options, as you've talked about, is that it's open. It's based on open source software.
Right. So people all over the world are adding components to it all the time. They write plugins for it. They offer documentation. They have tips on how to improve things, hacks, ideas, or just good explanations, whether you're a beginner or a more advanced user.
Now, say you are an advanced user, maybe you've looked at Joomla or Drupal or something. Where does WordPress fit in that kind of category?
WordPress, well, it's getting bigger. WordPress used to be like the smallest of the two. Like you would use WordPress for smaller, simpler sites, but it's become more robust over time. In terms of ease of use, it's certainly easier than Joomla and Drupal, both for the end user and for the developer. But also now in the current version, with the number of pages you can create, you can do substantial business sites in it. You could do a 50, 100-page site, but you can even go much larger. So I would say WordPress is a good choice for a lot of sites, unless you're doing a lot of complicated, strange database stuff that might be more of a Drupal project. I think WordPress is worth considering for many, many sites.
And will those sites that you create look like a blog, or can you get away from that if you want to?
Well, that's a great thing, is you can make WordPress look like whatever you want it to. I usually start by designing in HTML, decide what I want it to look like, and then I make WordPress bend to the look and feel that I want.
All right, visitors, you got to go to HeidiKuhl.com to get some examples, and you've even got some training up there, little explanations and some great resources on WordPress, right? Where would they find that? At
HeidiKuhl.com/sample WordPress is the site I created for a presentation I gave today. And that has examples of a lot of the different types of WordPress code and templating and things like that.
All right, check out Internet Strategist Heidi Kuhl at HeidiKuhl.com. Thanks, Heidi.
Thanks, Dan.